will be helpful for all the research scholars. At the end of this session, researcher will know how to analyze, interpret data in SPSS. Today's session is about variables and data entry in SPSS. And these two things are most important because these are the most important tasks involved in any analysis. So it is very crucial for those research scholars who are at the very beginning of their research. So we should know the nature and type of variable because they are the basic units of the information analyzed and interpreted in our research studies. Hopefully, at the end of this session, we'll learn in details. Before starting the session from our guest teacher, Samson R. Victor sir, I would like to invite Mr. Victor sir to his welcome speech. Thank you. Victor sir, it's over to you.
Okay. So I think we are already late. So I would like to welcome to my teacher and my mentor, Professor Samson Victor sir. I will not take more time. So next, I'm
We'll
inviting my
directly start because don't
study
worry.
brother for this session. Yes.
Right, good afternoon. I'm late bit for 15 minutes. Sorry, extremely sorry. I had a session in the morning. Okay, 3 hours. I had to take a session for teachers. So I was a bit busy there.
It's okay, sir, no problem.
We will just start the session. Before starting the session, I'll just try to share my PPT. Okay. Now, before we go into SPSS, we have to do certain things. Okay. Let me understand that and then I'll take you to SPSS. Hope all of you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Right. Why SPSS? First thing, is it required for us as a researcher? SPSS is certain things which will help us to deal with numbers. And mainly what happens when it comes to SPSS, okay, we only deal with numbers. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we deal with numbers. Okay. When we deal with numbers, what happens? We should understand how to deal with these numbers. As all of you know, research process includes framing of objectives, hypotheses, title will be framed, we frame objectives, hypotheses, all that things. Probably most of you would have done these stages. The next important stage is your tools, your questionnaire development and other things. And even if you'd have crossed that particular things, once your questionnaire is ready, what you do is you collect the data from the normal sample, what you have, and then you convert that into numbers. And before I come with that particular aspects, I'll be teaching about that particular aspects. I thought I would teach you related to parametric and non-parametric data analysis. What exactly is this? Because without understanding the theory behind this analysis, if you go practically and do some analysis, then it will be a waste. So I'll just give you a broad idea of what is parametric and non-parametric analysis. And then finally, we'll come back to SPSS. And then we'll try to finish off this session. So that's my idea. Now, when it comes to parametric data, okay, what happens? We usually consider that numbers or the quantity. Yes, Vikas?
Yes, sir.
Vikas, any doubt?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Now, when it comes to parametric analysis, we deal with mainly the large number of data or large number of data. Now, some qualitative aspects can be converted into numbers, and that comes under non-parametric analysis. Before we go for this parametric or non-parametric analysis, what happens? Once the data is feeded, what we do is we go for something called as descriptive statistics and see whether
Excuse me, sir.
the descriptive. Yes, please.
Sir, large data means?
Yes. Now the sample size should be huge. Okay. And why I'm telling you this, when the sample number is more, we will be able to generalize it. If it is less,
Sir, more.
the generalization concept will not take place.
Sir, how to
Yes.
identify which data is large? A more than 100,
I'll,
more than 1,000?
now
How to
we will tell
identify?
you that can be done with the help of analysis, which is called descriptive analysis. I'll show you. Okay. How we can identify whether we can go for parametric or non-parametric analysis, that I'll teach you. Right? I'm just giving you a theoretical pictures. Then when we do it practically, you'll get an idea. Now, when it comes to descriptive statistics, there are different two types of statistics what we speak about. One is descriptive statistics, the other one is inferential statistics. Right? Now, hope all of you are comfortable in English, or should I speak in Hindi?
Sir, bilingual, sir.
Sir, go with English, sir.
Sir, what?
Both
Sir,
things.
English.
Right. I'll just add in between Hindi. Okay. Because all of your research scholars, you can follow English. But in spite of that, in between, I'll add Hindi. Okay. Now, when it comes to descriptive statistics, what are the things what are the things we're going to see? We are going to see the distribution of the sample. Very important. Okay. How the data is distributed, that we are going to see. That I'll show you in practical with SPSS, then probably you'll be able to understand. Now, the next thing is we're going to calculate mean, median, mode, and we have central tendencies like range, standard deviation, variance, quartile deviation, okay, all that particular things you're going to study in descriptive statistics. Now, there was a question, I don't know who asked that question, saying that when do we go for this parametric analysis? When do we go for this non-parametric analysis? That's a big question what you have. Okay. Now, for that, what we are going to do is, have you seen NPC? Probably most of you would have heard of NPC, normal probability curve. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If you have not seen, probably you can see this. When you put the data in a tabular column and see how the data is distributed, you can see this curve here. Can you see this curve?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bell-shaped curve. Okay. And this shows that the data is normally distributed.
Sorry, sir, screen
Okay.
not showing.
Screen is not visible.
It is
No,
visible.
it is visible. Please make a note. Probably your network is weak. That's fine. Okay. When the data is distributed, or when the data, what we get, okay, when we plot it in a graph, what happens? We get this kind of curve. If at all, if it is data is normally distributed, then what we do? Then we go for parametric analysis. If there is a skewed data, okay, skewed data, if there is any skewness in data distribution, it appears somewhat like this. If there is any skewness in data distribution, okay, it appears somewhat like this. Can you see the image which I've selected? You can zoom it and then you can see the screen here. Right side, there is a screen here. There is positive skewness, negative skewness. Okay, this is normally distributed curve. Can you see here?
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So when there is a skewness, either it is positive skewness or negative skewness, then we go for non-parametric analysis. That is very important. Okay. That is the next aspect which you're going to see. So first thing when you get a data, what you're going to do is we are going to go for this normal probability curve. Now, what we'll do before we go for anything else, what we'll do, we will just see how to feed the data into SPSS. That is very important. That is my major task, what Vikas has given me today. Okay. So I'll just take up a sample and then let me check that particular things. Right. I'll just show you a few things. Then probably we'll work it out accordingly. How to feed the data. Now all of you have a system in front of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. If you have system in front of you, we will work accordingly. Okay. Now let's take an example. You go to a person, collect the data. आप लोग जाते हैं, क्वेश्चनर ले लिया आपने अपना क्वेश्चनर, और किसी के पास जाता है और क्या करता है, वो डेटा फिल करके हमें दे देता है. He'll give the data for you. First thing, the questionnaire looks like this. A questionnaire I have just projected here, perception of teachers regarding the existing course content. This is a 5-point rating scale, what we have. Okay. This is a 5-point rating scale, what we have. Can you see the rating here? One second.
Yes, sir.
The statements are there. Strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree. है ना? These are all the data what we have. And there is certain general information what we collect. किसी का क्या करते हैं हम लोग, नेम चाहिए तो नेम लेते हैं, in case if there is education qualification, okay, and their designation, name of the institution serving, district, locale, type of college, all these things you are going to collect some data, right? Most of you collect these kinds of data.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what we do is we take up an Excel sheet. You just open an Excel sheet now. First thing, right? And we have something called as variables.
Sir, please give some time, sir. 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Now what happens when you collect a questionnaire? When you take up a questionnaire, what you do? You get the data, and that data has to be fed, right? Before that, you have something called as variables. How many types of variables are there?
Dependent,
What are the
independent, confound variables.
okay, then okay, then what else?
So dependent, independent, confound variables, extraneous variables.
Okay, there are different types of classifications what we have in variables. We will not see all the types. Okay. Now what we'll do is, if you see, observe the different variables, we'll have an independent variable. we'll have a dependent variable. What is the relation between independent variable and dependent variable? Can someone tell me? Dependent variable क्या होता है? Independent variable क्या होता है?
Sir,
The
sir,
manipulation.
sir,
Yes,
if
please.
the effect of one variable which is depending on the other variable, which is depending on the other variable, it will be dependent variable. Suppose I will say that increase in age will leads to increase in height. That means here when age is increasing, depend on it, the height is also increasing. So here height will be dependent variable and age will be independent variable.
Very good. That's a nice thing. Okay. Now, in some studies, there will be only independent variables. There will not be any dependent variables. All of you agree? Yes or no?
No, sir.
In all the studies, do you think there will be dependent and independent variable?
Yes, sir.
No. Please make a note. In research studies, there may be a study which will consist of only one variable. Okay, there is no hard and fast rule that always there should be one dependent and one independent variable. That's a major thing what you need to keep in your mind. Okay, there are studies even with one variable.
Can you give me example? One
Yes.
example.
I'm going to study an attitude of a person towards research. Attitude of an individual towards research. Okay, I'm only testing their attitude. Don't you think it's a research study?
Yes, sir.
Research. Okay, that's a variable what I have. Now, in this particular studies, what happens? There will be a single variable. In some studies, okay, there will be a impact studies, as you said. Now let's take an example. As my salary increases, my savings increases. All of you agree? As and when my salary increases, my savings increases. Yes or no?
Yes,
मेरा
sir.
सैलरी ज्यादा होता है तो मेरा इनकम ज्यादा होता है तो मेरा सेविंग्स ज्यादा होता है. सही है कि नहीं? I need response,
Yes, sir.
please.
So what if your expenditure is have high?
Yes. Now all of you are right. Please, someone is sharing the screen. Stop sharing. Vaishali, stop sharing, please. Now, there is no hard and fast rule. There is no hard and fast rule that as my salary increases, my savings increases. It depends. It depends on various other factors. As a researcher, what I'll do to see this relation or to see this impact, I have to conduct an analysis. Okay, so that's one independent variable and dependent. Which one is dependent? Maybe the income is dependent on my savings. Okay, here. So income is dependent or independent?
Income is independent.
Independent, sir.
Income is an independent variable. What is the dependent variable here?
Expenditure maybe.
Savings.
Savings.
I am speaking only two
Savings.
variables. Income and savings. Savings will be a dependent variable. Okay. So this is how we differentiate the dependent and independent variable. And we also use the term called as demographic variable. Okay. Like for example, your age, your locality in which you belong to, okay, your family income, all these things can come under your background variable, which is related to a particular person. May not be a major variable, but we collect those informations also. Okay. Now, in this questionnaire, if you observe the questionnaire which I'm projecting, there is a 5-point rating scale which is there. It's a 5-point rating which ranges from strongly agree, undecided, disagree, and strongly disagree. Okay. Now, in addition to that, there are some demographical information which I'm collecting, like for example, education qualification of a person, uska designation, name of the institution where he is serving, okay, district, locale, type of college or institution. All these are demographic variables. Now, let's observe here. I go to a particular person. I want his perception to be collected. Now, let's take an example. I go to Muhammad. Muhammad is there, right? Muhammad Karimi, you're there? Fahim is not there. Someone who is there, I'll take. Gupta madam, you're there? Lakshana Gupta?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's take an example. I go to her, I go to Gupta madam. What I'll do? I will go ask her to fill this data and give it to me. This tool. Now consider we are taking her data. Okay. What is your education qualification, madam? Gupta madam.
So I'm in sociology.
MA. Okay, let's consider MA, and we may also think that she is doing her PhD.
Yes,
She has
sir.
completed her PhD. Okay, so this is the thing. Now she will tick somewhere here. There are different options which I've given here. So what she'll do, she'll just tick somewhere. Now what is your designation now presently?
So PhD scholar.
Now you are a PhD scholar. Let's consider you are an assistant professor now.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
I'm just taking it. Which institution you are serving? Maybe you are serving in an educational institution. I'll click somewhere education, which there are a number of institutions which are there. I'm taking it here. Next is you belong to 4 districts are there. Let's consider you belong to Mysore. Right, madam?
Okay, sir.
Then it is urban, rural or semi-urban. It is an urban area. Okay. So likewise, I collect the details and I'll keep it aside. Now, as soon as I get these details, what I'll do, I'll open an Excel sheet. Okay. When I open please make a note very clearly. This is the first stage what you have to do before entering to SPSS. Open an Excel sheet. Open an Excel sheet. In the first row, what you're going to do, you're going to add the variables. What are the variables what we have in our tool? What is the first variable what we spoke here? Educational qualification. So I'm going to type it.
Sir, your screen is not visible.
Others, please make a note whether my screen is visible.
Visible.
Visible, sir.
It is visible.
Right. Someone is saying it's not visible.
Not visible, sir.
Please someone tell me whether it is visible or not.
Now it is gone, sir. Earlier it was visible. Now something else is coming.
So now visible.
Okay. Sorry, extremely sorry. Right.
It is visible, sir.
Now, yeah.
झोला लग रहे हो.
Now please make a note here. What I'm going to do, there is a first column. If you don't follow, please ask me to repeat. I'll repeat 10 times. No problem. But you have to learn. Okay. Now, when it comes to this first column, what I'll do, there is a variable in my questionnaire. One second. Here, the first variable is education qualification. Can you see here? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
copy that and paste it in row 1, column A. Okay? That's my first variable. This is a demographic variable which is important for me. Next is, I go further and see there is something called as designation as the next variable. Copy that and then paste it here. Okay, hope it's clear.
Okay, sir.
Next is name of the institution serving. I'll copy that and paste in the next column. What I'm doing now, whatever the variables which are there in my questionnaire, I'm trying to feed in this Excel sheet. I'm creating a heading for me. Clear? Any doubt?
No, sir. No.
Okay. Next, there is something called as district. I copy that and paste it here.
अरे नमस्कार SPSS ऐसे ही करिए Patial.
Okay. The next one is locale. I copy and I paste in the next column. Can someone tell me what I'm doing now?
You're adding the variables to the Excel sheet.
Very good. I'm just adding the variables to the Excel sheet. Type of college or institution, I'm adding here. So likewise, you go on adding how many whichever variables what you have, all the variables you're going to add here in this Excel sheet. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Then it's fine. Then what I'll do, I likewise I have so many demographic variables. I'll not take all that things. Next thing is, in any questionnaire, what happens? You'll have a sub-components. For example, here we have something called as meaning of curriculum as sub-component, and under this we have 5 items. Okay, we call it as construct. And when we are developing a tool, we have major variables. Under that variables, we'll have components. Under each components, we'll have number of items. Hope it's clear. I think most of you have seen a questionnaire. That's why I'm rushing fast. Got it? What I'm telling you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So what I'll do, each statement, the statement whatever I have mentioned, what I'll do, I can make it as, let's take an example here, question.1. That means that is the marks what we're going to enter, or the coding what you're giving for the first question. Here there is a first question. What is the first question? The first question says, curriculum is the organized whole of learning experience. This is the first question. I cannot copy the full question and paste it there. That's why I have modified it as Q1. For the second one,
Excuse me, sir.
Q2. Very good. For the third one,
Q3.
it will be Q3, and then Q4 and Q5. How many questions are there in my first component?
5.
5 questions. Okay. Now, please do one more small thing. You add one more row above this. Insert a row above this. Okay. Since there is a component here, what we do is you add the component name here. What is the component name here? Meaning of curriculum. I just type here, and there are 5 questions under this. So I'm going to merge this. समझ में आ रहा है मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ?
Yes, sir.
Hope my screen is clearly visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what I did, I am adding the variables here, 1, 2, 3, whatever the variables we have, and for the questions I've added Q1, Q2, Q3. Now go back to the questionnaire and see what is there next. What is the second subcomponent what I have here is concept of curriculum. I'm going to go for this next one and click OK. Concept of curriculum. How many questions are there? 6 to
5,
10.
6 to 10.
So I'm going to add here next question. That is Q6, Q7, Q8, Q9, Q10. This concept of curriculum, you merge until 10th question and then create merge. Easy. Any doubt till now?
No, sir.
So,
Which doubt has here? Yes, please.
So what is the difference between factors and variables?
Now, what happens? Factor, a variable is a broader thing. Okay. Under those variables, you will have different factors which are going to measure that particular things. Yeah, Naidu, we also call it as component. Right? Now let's take an example. A house, एक घर के अंदर क्या क्या होता है? What will be there in a house?
Rooms,
Living room, guest room.
banquet hall, guest room,
all
kitchen,
include.
bathroom.
Bedroom, kitchen, okay, bathroom, so many things will be there, right? Now here what happens, broadly our variable is a house. Under these things what happens, we'll have different factors or different components. Bedroom is one component, kitchen is the other component, bathroom may be the other component. Okay, so these are all the things, but all these consisting together, what happens, will form a house. In the similar way, what happens, if at all, if you see here in any variables, what happens, to measure the particular variables, you will have different components. Now let me ask an example for a variable which you're going to study in your studies. Anyone please tell me a variable what you have selected for your study, any subject.
Sir,
Yes, Disha.
emotional intelligence.
Okay, now let's take an example. Emotional intelligence is a variable. Okay. Now, under these emotional intelligence, to measure this emotional intelligence, what are the factors what you're going to identify, Disha? What are the factors which comes under emotional intelligence?
Sir, components like
Yes.
managing emotions, self-motivation, self-awareness, empathy, emotional stability, commitment, integrity, etc.
Now let's take an example. Empathy will be there, okay, or stability of an individual, like that. These are all the factors or the components which comes under this. To measure this one factor, now let's take an example. To measure this empathy, we will have number of items. We call that as constructs. Okay, each item is called as constructs. So construct will frame the components, and these components in turn will come across and frame what? The variable. That's the major difference. Hope it's clear now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now once this is done, what we'll do, what I'm doing here is this meaning of curriculum, concept of curriculum, all these are constructs, sorry, components what we have. Under these we have these items q1, q2, q3. These are all constructs. These 5 questions try to measure what? Meaning of curriculum. And these components what we have, meaning of curriculum, concept of curriculum, and many more, whatever is there, is going to measure one thing called as perception. Getting an idea? My major variable here is perception. Perception of teachers. Got it? So what I'm doing, I'm adding next thing. Next, in the similar way, goal of curriculum, you copy the variable and paste it here. Yes, please. Hello. Someone had a doubt. Okay. Now, what I'm doing now, I'm just adding the variables, whatever I have, and then Q15. So I'm going to merge all these things, merge and sentence. So likewise, you go on adding how much ever variables you have, how much ever questions you have, you go on adding the variables here like this in an Excel sheet. Hope all of you have got an idea of feeding the variable name on the in an Excel sheet. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Right. If you're ready with this, then I can go ahead further.
Sir, I have a
Shall
request,
I?
sir. Can you please also,
Yes.
sir, I have a request. Sir, can you please also provide the video of this? I mean, a recording of this. Can you please share with us after the session
I
is?
think I think Vikas will be able to do that because he is recording it. Right, Vikas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure, sir. We will provide the video. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Please provide the video so that they will go turn back and then learn again whatever the things what you are doing.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Right.
Sure.
Safia madam done?
Yes, sir. Thank
Right.
you.
Give me a break, please. 2 minutes. I'll just bring you bottle.
Okay, sir. I think some previous lectures are available in our YouTube platform. So you can also watch too. Because we have organized in previous year one workshop on the SPSS, and Professor Victor sir has taken, I think, 4 classes on the SPSS. So all lectures we have uploaded in our YouTube. So you can also watch today.
Sir, you can please share the link for the same, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Because previous year Victor sir has, I think, delivered 4 lecture in the SPSS in the same platform. So we will provide no problem.
Right. Now, if you concentrate, I'll tell you, SPSS will be very easy for you. I'm going stage by stage, just to teach all of you so that you will not spend your money and you learn something. Because analysis, people spend huge amount of money. Okay, so I don't want my students to spend money. That's why Vikas is also organizing and we are also giving lectures here. Okay. Now, once the variables gets feeded here, you keep on feeding the variables how much ever you want. So I have feeded only few variables here just for a sample. Now, once that is done, the next thing what we exactly we are going to do here is we have a response here. Where is the response? The response is over here. Now let's consider here we have something called as educational qualification. Okay. Now go to sheet number 2. Can you see sheet number here at the bottom? Sheet 1 is there, sheet 2. Just click on sheet 2. Clear? Hello?
Yes, sir,
Yes,
clear.
sir. Sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just go to sheet number 2 and type education qualification. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to give a code for everything what I'm going to type. Educational qualification. Now let's consider a first respondent as in her questionnaire or in his questionnaire. She has mentioned that it is MA PhD. Okay. So there are a number of categorization what I've given here is secondary education, certificate course, okay, then diploma, bachelor's, masters, master's degree in PhD. Okay, these are all the categorization what I've given. given. Now let's take an example. If I'll just add all the things in my sheet number 2. First thing, education qualification. Someone has mentioned secondary education. Very good. Next is diploma, I think. Certificate course. I'm going to add at the bottom certificate course. Then third one is diploma.
So Excel sheet is not visible.
I'm just doing it with fast. Bachelor's degree. I'll
Sir,
just show
screen
you.
is not
Can you
visible,
see now?
sir.
No, it is.
No, sir.
No, sir, it's not visible. Only your pic
No,
is
sir, it is
visible.
not.
Once again, I'll share it again. Hello. Can you see now?
Yes,
Right.
sir, visible.
Okay. Now, if you can see here, what I'm doing here is, I'll zoom it again further. What I'm doing, education qualification ke samne, in front of education qualification, what I'm typing all the qualifications I have in an option. Here, in this questionnaire, you can see there is number of options. So I'm just typing it here, all the options. Hope it's clear.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So what I did in this education qualification, I have categorized this into secondary education, certificate course, diploma, bachelor's education, master degree, and PhD. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So now let's take an example. If a person ticks in a questionnaire, secondary education, okay, I can give a coding for this. I can give as 1 for secondary education, 2 for certificate course, 3 for diploma, 4 for bachelor's, 5 for master degree, and 6 for PhD. Got it?
Yes, sir.
What I did, I gave a coding here. I gave a coding for this. Now, once I've given a coding for this, next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for data entry here. The first respondent is, what is the qualification of first respondent? MA PhD.
MA PhD.
So what will be the coding? PhD. It is 6 maximum you are going to consider. If a person has done PhD, it's an indication already has completed masters. So we'll consider like that and say a person is PhD. What is the coding?
तो
What is
5
the
and
code?
6 दोनों नहीं आएगा.
दोनों नहीं आ सकता है. देखिए सर, simple.
6.
If a person who has completed PhD, it's already an indication that he has completed his masters.
Masters.
So we'll consider as 6. अभी क्या करेंगे? Data sheet पे जाइए, sheet number 1 पे. The first respondent, this is the first respondent which I'm mentioning. What is the education qualification here?
MA
PhD.
PhD.
6.
हम PhD नहीं लिखते हैं because सब लिख के जाएंगे तो बहुत टाइम लगेगा. So we give a number for that. क्या नंबर देंगे इधर?
6.
6.
6.
6.
Six, sir.
6. Very good. Okay. So we give 6 here. In the similar way here, this is the coding what you have given for. Please mute. Someone is speaking there. Rohit,
Yes, sir.
please mute. Who is right? There was some disturbance. That's why. Please don't feel bad. Okay. This is for education qualification. Next, we'll go for the next one. What is the next variable? What we have?
Designation.
Designation. Now go to sheet number 2 again. Type designation here. What are the designations? What we have? Now, this is a data which is collected from teachers. Okay, maybe teachers. Teachers का कितना प्रकार का हो सकता है designation? How many types of? Yes, maybe an university teachers. Let's take an example. Lecturer will be there.
Assistant
Assistant
Associate
professor.
professor.
Sir.
professor.
Assistant professor, associate professors, professor,
Associate professor.
guest faculty,
Very good.
So, Professor.
Rimli, Kalita, please mute yourself, please.
Okay. Lecturer, assistant professor, associate professor. Then someone said about guest faculty.
Sir, sometime in university there are senior assistant professors also.
We can categorize it. It depends on you. Okay. There is selection grade, senior grade, all that things will be there. If you want to categorize that and see, that's fine. If not, you can select like this. Okay.
Okay, okay, sir.
Right. Now, as you categorize this, again, what we are going to do, you are going to give the coding here. Lecturer के लिए क्या दे सकते हैं? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. अब मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ? What I'm doing now? I'm giving code for everything.
Coding.
Right? Hope it's clear.
Yes, sir.
yes sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.
What is the next variable now? Name of the institution serving. I'll just delete this because too many variables will confuse. Let's consider district. इधर जाओ, district add करो. How many districts are there in my tool?
4.
See here, there are 4 districts here. One is Mysore. The other one is Asan. The third one is Mandya. Fourth one, there is something called as Chamarajanagar. These are all districts in Karnataka. Okay, so I've just added it here because the data what I've selected is from Karnataka state. So again, what I'll do here for Mysore, what is the coding? Someone
So
give me
1,
a
sir.
code.
1,
1.
Okay.
1 2 3 4.
Next.
1, 2, 3, 4. 2 for
2.
Hassan,
Very
3 for
good.
Mandya.
Right. So what I'm doing now, for all the demographic variables, I'm giving a code. And we call these as categorical variables, where I can categorize them. And many of you would have heard of nominal, ordinal, ratio scale, and interval scale.
Interval scale.
ये सब पता है सबको?
Yes,
ये
sir.
सब पता है?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is a nominal scale?
When we labels the variable like black and white and according to some norms maybe.
There may not be any norms for nominal data. Okay. Nominal, what happens? Anything. Now let's take an example. My name. Right? That's a name. So it comes under nominal data. Now let's take an example. District. There are 4 districts here. Okay. Do they have any meaning except name?
No, sir.
Except name, do they have any other meaning?
No, sir.
We have used only for the names. Okay, so those kinds of things comes under this name. Now let's take an example. Gender, male, female, transgender. Is there any meaning here?
Meaning is there, but we cannot give the value to it.
So that's the thing. So what happens? Meaning in the sense we identify this person as a male, this as a female, as a characteristics. Okay, so that's it. So what happens when these kinds of data are there? Okay, then we call it as nominal data. Now let's take an example: ordinal data. First rank,
Ranking order.
second, yes, pass. Okay, class. Now what's happening here is in this also we are giving a name. It is more or less like nominal, but there is an hierarchy, there is an order. Okay, if these kinds of orders are there, then we call it as ordinal. Getting an idea?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Now tell me, among these three, one, two, three, which one is nominal and which one is ordinal?
Education qualification is nominal.
Education qualification is ordinal, and designation may be
Designation
ordinal.
is also ordinal, sir. District
Designation
is
is
nominal.
ordinal.
District is nominal.
District is nominal, sir.
Okay. Now listen here. Someone said district is nominal. All of you agree for this?
Yes, sir.
District is nominal
Yes, sir.
because there is
Yes,
no
sir.
hierarchy here, right? That's why it comes under nominal. Perfect. Then it comes to education qualification. Someone said it is nominal, someone said it's ordinal. Tell me the
It's
right
ordinal.
answer.
Ordinal, sir.
Ordinal, sir.
Ordinal, sir.
Why? Why? Give me the reason.
Because sir, PhD is bigger than masters and bachelors and all. It is the
There is
highest
an
degree.
order there.
Very good.
Sir, it may be
There
nominal
is an
also.
order. It's not only that it can be
It is
nominal,
an order, sir.
but
First you
if
go
you
to secondary, then for bachelors, then for masters.
yes, if you see here, any qualification is in a hierarchy order. Secondary education, after that you can do a certificate course, diploma, then bachelor's degree, then master degree, and then PhD. So there is a hierarchy which we have maintained here. If that hierarchy is there, then we call it as ordinal. There is an order.
Ordinal.
Simple. Okay. Next, designation.
Ordinal, sir.
Ordinal, sir.
Why? Very good. This
Because
is
sir,
also an
first
orderly way it is mentioned. That's
Salary,
fine.
sir.
So this also can be ordinal. Salary also can be considered as an ordinal. We can we can arrange it in a sequence wise. Year number of years of experience, whether it is nominal or ordinal.
Ordinal, sir.
Ordinal, sir.
Right. That is also an ordinal aspect. Okay. So good. All of you got an idea. Now, this ratio and interval scales will mainly deal with numbers. Okay, so I will not go in detail discussing about that particular things because you have all studied. Now, when it comes to ordinal and nominal data, we categorize them into these things and then we give the coding for them. Okay, once the coding is done, the next thing what exactly you're going to do here is You go back to Excel sheet, sheet number 1. Now take a first person who is giving a response. Okay? Now, very important what you are going to do here is, please make a note here. I'm just giving you an example here. Hope you can see me,
Yes, sir.
right? All
Yes,
of you can
sir.
see me? Yes, observe now. Now let's take an example. I have set of number of questions. Okay? There are n number of questions which I've collected here. Sheet number 2, sheet number 3, sheet number 4. I'll take first sheet number 1. As soon as you take sheet number 1, that is your questionnaire, which you have got a response, first thing what you have to do is, please, in the right corner or in the left corner, you make a numbering. We call it as file numbering. Mark it as 1, 0, 1, or 1, like this. Okay? And then you take this questionnaire and start feeding. If this is first respondent answer what I've taken, or the questionnaire what I've taken, and I'm going to feed the data. And for that first questionnaire, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for book number 1 and see what is the qualification what he has marked. If the qualification is PhD, then I give as 6.
6 number.
Now, the same person, if its designation is assistant professor, what is the coding I'm going to give?
2.
Three.
Assistant professor.
3.
Three.
So I'm going to make it as 3. If that person belongs to a district which is called Hassan, what is the coding what I'm going to give?
Two.
2.
Two.
Very good. And he belongs to an urban area. Let's take an example, locale. We have 3 types: urban, rural, and semi-urban. So what will be the coding here? I can give as 1, 2, and 3. I can even change. There is no hard and fast rule that urban will get 1. I can give it as 3 also, no problem. So now if he belongs to urban, what is the coding what I'm going to give?
One.
1.
Sir, can we give zero as a coding?
No, because that will lead to complications in SPSS. So I don't suggest you to go for 0, please. Okay?
Oh, thank you.
You can, but I would suggest not to. Got it?
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
there's a slow network. Right. So you go on giving the data here. Now, next thing what I'll do, I'll take a second person. When I take a second person's number sheet, before that we have to fill the other questions also. Let me take other questions here. There is a statement here, statement number 1, which says strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree.
So
Okay?
your screen is not visible.
Wow. Yeah.
It's visible, sir.
It is visible.
It's visible.
It is visible, sir. Visible.
Probably there is a problem in your network. Please check. Okay. Now, when it comes to the next question, what happens? This is the statement related to my variable. This is a 5-point rating scale. If a person has ticked disagree, what will be the coding I'm going to give?
4.
4.
Sir, one.
Sir, 2. Disagree
One
2.
or two. Sir, 1 or 2 we can give. If we
Sir,
start from
2.
0. 2, sir, 2.
Strongly
Now, let's
agree.
take an example here. Please make a note.
If it is
There are
it
some
is
people said it's
if there
2,
are
some
sir,
said
if
it's
it,
4.
sir, if they these are positive, item, then we will give it 2. If these are negative, then we will give it 4.
Very good, very good, very good. See here, for this statements, we have to observe the statements. Now, this statement says curriculum is organized whole of learning experiences. Now, what's happening? This is a positive statement. It says that curriculum is very well organized. That's what it tells. Okay. If I agree for this statement, if I strongly agree for this statement, that means I get a maximum marks. So I have to
5.
give 5,
5,
4,
4, 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, and 1. Okay. Now, similar statement, if I modify, see the first statement, it's saying that curriculum is organized. In the second statement, it says that curriculum is not organized. Then what happens? What will be the rating? If
1,
someone
2,
says
Negative.
agree,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 to
5.
strongly
it will be
agree.
a reverse thing. It
1,
will be 1, 2,
2,
3,
3,
4,
4, 5.
5. Hope you're getting an idea. First thing what you have to do is identify the statements whether it is positive or negative. During your tool development, during your questionnaire development, during your rating skill development, you would have taken this in consideration, saying that this is positive item, this is negative item. Keeping those things as a base, what you're going to do, you're going to identify this positive and negative statements. Hope it's clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Sir, how to decide when a statement is positive or negative?
Now, what happens here, if at all, if you see here, what I did now, this what construct, that means what item, what I'm telling to do, if it is measuring positively my variable, then that becomes positive. Now, let's take an example. I'm developing a tool related to perception of students towards research. Okay, here what happens? I will develop a statement saying that I like research. Whether this is positive or negative, Kushbu,
Sir, it is positive.
it is positive. I don't like research, whether it is negative or positive.
Yeah, it is negative.
So by seeing the statement itself, we'll be able to identify whether it is a positive item or a negative item, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Sir, what
What
should
you're
be the ratio of
intending to
positive
measure,
or yeah?
there is no hard and fast rule that you should keep positive items and negative items. It's up to
Mm-hmm.
the researcher. It's
Okay.
up to the researcher whether
Yes.
to keep the positive items or not. Sorry, whether to keep the negative items or not. But to get an accurate result or to get a correct response,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we give
Yes.
this mix match. That means positive and negative items. But
Okay.
there is no fixed term saying that you should keep negative. No, because sometimes what happens when you give a questionnaire or a tool for a certain particular person, they will just tick everything 3 3 3 3 3 or 2 2 2 2 2 blindly. To avoid those things or to filter our data, to get an accuracy data, we do these kinds of alteration, positive and negative. Hope it's clear.
Okay. Yeah, yes, it's clear.
Excuse me,
Thank you.
sir. I have a question, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, while framing the question, sir, can you please show the screen so I am will be more able to ask the question. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Sir, while framing the question here, like you have mentioned meaning of curriculum. Can we use both statements, like in statement one we are using positive statement in, and in question number two, in the same construct na, we are asking a negative question. Can we do that?
Now, usually we'll not do that, but if at all, if you want to make the accuracy of the question, because both the questions are measuring the same.
Okay,
Either you ask positively or negatively, both the questions measure the same. Okay.
okay, sir.
So when you are
Ji.
going for a tool validation, automatically the statistical package will show you that it is a repetition.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Thank you,
you are
sir.
intending to measure. Once you measure, that's fine. Whether you measure it positively or negatively, that's fine. Okay.
Okay,
So
sir.
there is no hard and
Okay,
fast
thank
rule that you should keep both.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right. Any other doubt? Okay, you don't have a doubt now. If at all, this is a 5-point rating scale. If the same thing, let's take an example. Let's take an example. I have a question here, and the response is yes and no. For this question, if the response is yes and no type, what will be the coding? What you're going to give?
0
1.
and 1.
1 and 2.
Here it will be
Yeah.
1. For the coding, you're going to give as 1, and for this, you're going to give as 0. For no, you consider it as 0. Okay, don't give that value. Clear? Okay,
Yes, sir.
right. So likewise, you consider all these things. You may have multiple choice. Sometimes 2 or 3 responses will come. All these things codings you're going to do. Now we'll come back to our Excel sheet here. Now let's take an example. If the question number 1, someone is marked as strongly agree. What is the scoring? What I'm going to give here?
5.
Strongly agree. 5. It's a negative statement.
1.
1. 1.
Then it is 1.
If it is a negative statement, it will be 1. If it is a positive statement, it will be 5. For question
5.
number 2,
5.
5-point rating scale. Okay. My response is agree, and it's a positive statement. What will be the score?
4.
4.
Paka?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Question
Yes, sir.
number 3. Okay. My response is disagree, and it's a negative statement. What is the scoring?
4.
2.
2.
Someone said 2, someone said 4. Which one is right?
4, sir.
It's a negative statement. I said disagree. What is the score?
It is 3. 3.
Eh?
2. 2.
Disagree. See here. Disagree. If it is a negative item, this is a negative item.
Then it will
Example,
4.
I'll make it. Now let's.
be 4, sir. 4, sir. 4. 4.
4.
It is
4.
4.
4.
Please
4.
make a note. Okay. This coding is very important. Huh? Until and unless you do it perfectly, you will not be able to go ahead further. Right. Now, in the similar way, I have a statement which is negative and I strongly agree.
1.
1.
Strongly agree.
1,
1,
sir.
1, 1.
1.
Strongly disagree and it's a negative statement.
5.
5, sir.
Sir, 5.
5.
5.
Okay, now good. All of you got an idea of filling this. So what you're going to do, you're going to put all these items scoring like this. Okay,
Hmm?
first thing. Now, next thing, what I'm going to do, observe here, there is 5 questions related to this meaning of curriculum. And after this, what you do is you insert a column, and you just put a total. I'm adding a total here, and from here, question number 1 to 5, I'm going to go for sum up, auto sum. Got an idea what I did?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
I created, now I'll just go back again and do something, show you. See here, this is a separate component, separate factor. Okay, curriculum, meaning of curriculum. After this curriculum factor, I'm going to insert a column here. Okay, and then add as m dot c dot total. Then what I did, I added all these things. I selected from question number 1 to 5, and then I did auto sum. You can do this easy.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Once this is done, your first item is ready, or that means first responses will be done. Next, take the second sheet, and as soon as you take a second sheet, what you're going to do, extreme right at the top corner or extreme left, what you're going to do, you're going to give something called as pile number. Okay, that is the respondent number what you need. So what they're going to do, write number 2, that will be called pile number 2. Easy. Hello,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Sorry, sir.
you got it? Any doubt?
No,
Now
sir.
No.
observe here, watch my,
Sir,
watch
एक
me here.
doubt है.
Yes.
सर अगर ये कोडिंग हम इन्हीं फाइल्स के ऊपर ही कर लें मतलब एक्सेल शीट में ना करें तो वो इजी नहीं रहेगा हमारे लिए.
देखिए ये क्या होता है पता है, एक्सेल शीट में कोडिंग बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि हम लोग उधर से कॉपी करके पेस्ट करते हैं एसपीएसएस में, शीट को तो नहीं करते हैं। शीट को कोडिंग करने से क्या मिलता है हमको, एक शीट में करके रख सकते हैं आप ऑलरेडी, इंस्टेड ऑफ पुटिंग इन एन एक्सेल शीट, शीट नंबर 2 को, ये जो शीट नंबर 2 है ना, आप एक शीट में लिख के रख सकते हैं, बट ये तो करना है हमको, ये कोडिंग तो करना ही है।
हाँ सर, फिर उसी शीट से देख के यहाँ पे अगर फिल कर
उसी
दें.
शीट से देख के आप इसमें कर सकते हैं। मैं शीट नंबर 2 इसलिए किया क्योंकि ये इसी के साथ रहेगा ना, शीट हम लोगों को गायब हो सकता है,
ओके.
एक्सेल शीट तो गायब नहीं होगा।
यस सर.
और क्या होता है, अगर आप किसी और को एनालिसिस के लिए दे रहे हैं तो ये दे देंगे, तो वो भी, उसका भी आसान हो जाएगा देखने के लिए। देयर इज नो हार्ड एंड फास्ट रूल, जस्ट गिविंग यू दिस थिंग सैंपल, दैट्स इट। ओके,
ओके सर.
right. Now as soon as we complete one sheet, I'll take up a second sheet, second data sheet which I've collected from a sample। सेकेंड शीट कलेक्ट करते ही क्या करेंगे हम लोग, इधर राइट साइड और लेफ्ट साइड जहां भी हम लोगों ने किया, इसको क्या करते हैं हम लोग, नंबरिंग करते हैं। क्या नंबरिंग देंगे हम लोग, दिस विल बी नंबर 2। ओके, ये क्यों करना है मैं आपको समझा दूंगा, व्हाई दिस इज टू बी डन आई विल टीच यू लेटर। बट सेकेंड रेस्पोंडेंट को जैसे आप उठाएंगे, यू मेक श्योर दैट इज रेस्पोंडेंट नेम इज सॉरी नंबर इज एडेड अकॉर्डिंगली। सो सेकेंड शीट को ओपन करेंगे हम लोग। सेकेंड शीट ओपन करते ही क्या करेंगे हम लोग, गो टू दिस, education qualification. If a person is, or the second sheet what I have taken, if the qualification is graduate, what is the coding?
3.
ग्रेजुएट के लिए तो 4 है.
4.
Four.
ग्रेजुएट के लिए क्या करेंगे हम लोग? 4 डालेंगे. Designation, if he is a professor,
5.
5.
yeah,
4.
it will be 5.
4 है सर.
District is Mysore,
1.
1.
1.
it will be 1. He belongs to a rural background,
2.
2.
very good. इसी तरह क्या करेंगे? Question wise we see and then we go on writing it here. As soon as we complete the second respondents, third respondent लेते हैं हम लोग. Third respondent लेने के बाद हम लोग क्या करते हैं? First thing what you have to do?
फाइल पे 3 मार्क करना है.
नंबर.
फाइल नंबर फिर मार्क करना है हम लोगों को. Put 3 there and go on entering here. Okay? इसी तरह हम लोग क्या करते हैं? We keep on entering how much ever data we have. Everything we are going to enter and prepare a small Excel sheet. Or if it is a huge data, okay, then prepare, and a single Excel sheet is more than enough. ये डेटा फीड करने के लिए सबको समझ में आ गया? How to feed data?
Yes, sir.
Yes sir.
Any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Sir,
sir.
I have a doubt.
Yes, please.
Sir, suppose if someone is working in area of narcotics and going for the data collection in the bordering districts, और वो इस बात पे रिसर्च कर रहा है कि व्हाट इज द इकोनॉमिक कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस और सोशल कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस ऑफ नारकोटिक्स एडिक्शंस, और तो उसमें क्या है, सपोज मल्टीपल रिस्पॉन्सेज आ रहे हैं कि ये भी वैलिड है कि इकोनॉमिक लॉस होता है और साथ ही साथ उसकी जो लेबर प्रोडक्टिविटी है वो भी कम हो जा रहा है. सपोज इफ आई हैव मल्टीपल रिस्पॉन्सेज फॉर द वन क्वेश्चन, तो उसको कैसे फीड करेंगे?
See, let's take an example. There are majorly 4 responses here. Okay, I'll take up one sheet and then I'll demonstrate to you. Now let's take an example. There are 4 responses which you majorly expect. There may be a combination of these two things, है ना? Probability combination हो
Yes,
सकता
sir.
है,
Yes.
right? इसमें क्या होता है? 1 plus 2.
है मेरा वाला मैंने दे दिया नहीं था स्नेह को.
Yes, sir.
1 maybe a combination हो सकता है. You can think 2 टिक किया, then you give a coding. अगर only 1 टिक किया, want to convert that into numbers again, quantitative. Okay, then you have to do these mismatch combinations, right?
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, then it will be easy for you. If not, put the raw data there and then again you go for cross tabulations in SPSS. That also is possible. Okay, dear?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. Hope all of you got an idea how to put the data into Excel. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No sir.
All right. Am I too slow or too fast?
Sir,
Yes, please.
It's fine sir.
Sir, are demographic variables related to objective or hypothesis of our study?
Because you are collecting the data. You're collecting the data, whether it may be demographic variable may be required or may not be required for your study. When you collect the data, when it is there in your research tool or questionnaire, you make sure that you feed it here. Got it, Nisha ma'am?
Yes, sir. Sir, I mean, is there is any criteria for selecting how many demographic variables to be included,
No, no,
including
no.
or excluding?
Listen here. If the demographic variable is helping you for your study to analyze, okay, then you can think of that particular things.
Okay, sir.
Getting an
Okay.
idea? If it is
Yes,
related to
sir.
your study, then only you would select that. Don't collect faltu datas if you don't require. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay, got it.
That may be related to your study, only then you collect the demographic variables. If it is not required, don't use it at all. Right. So this is about data feeding. Once you feed your data, the data will appear like this. Can you see here?
So
Yes, sir.
I have one more query.
Yes,
Uh,
please.
in the Excel sheet, you have just left the 6 row blank. Is it any specific requirement, or it was
Where
just
we
a
have left the
demonstration?
6 row blank,
Sir, in the sheet two, in sheet number two,
there is no
first
hard.
six.
Dear, this is not required at all. I can start from here. I can start from here. I can start anywhere. This is just for my reference.
Okay, sir.
Okay, this sheet number 2 doesn't make any sense. It is only for my reference that I have coded like this.
Okay, sir.
For me, the major thing is sheet number 1. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Right. Once your Excel data is ready, your data will appear something like this. Can you see here? Huge number of
Yes,
data
sir.
will be fed like this. Okay? And you can see how many samples are there. What is the sample size? The last data what you can observe, that will show you the sample size.
462.
262.
260. 262 is my sample size. All of you agree?
Yes,
No, sir. Initial 2 row was,
Very good,
given
dear.
to.
Very good
Yes, sir.
263.
observation. Initial 2 rows are names. Okay, so minus 2 कितना हुआ?
260.
460.
260 is my actual sample. Got it? Right. If you have got it, we'll go ahead further. Now, as soon as you open an SPSS, if you open an SPSS, SPSS will appear like this. Okay? SPSS appears like this. In this SPSS, if you observe, we have something called as data view at the bottom here towards extreme left of my screen or your screen. You can see that there is something called as data view. The other one is something called as
And
variable view. All of you can see
variable view.
variable view
Yes, sir.
and data view. Any doubt?
Data view. No, sir.
Right. These are all the two views what you can see. I'll teach you what exactly is this. First thing what happens in data view, if you see, there is something called as VAR, VAR, VAR. Can you see VAR? All of you can
Yes,
see
sir.
this.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That VAR indicates variable. Okay, but we have to make sure that the variable name is given properly. For that reason, what we'll do, first thing, as soon as you open SPSS, open variable view. Clear? Once you open your variable view, what you have to do is you have to type a name of the variable.
So from where are you
Now
clicking,
observe
sir?
here,
It's not. So from where are you clicking variable view and data?
you have opened your SPSS.
Yes, sir.
At the bottom of your left corner, when you open an SPSS, there is two options here at the left.
Yeah. Visible. Thank you.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Should I go very slow?
No. It's okay,
No
sir.
need, sir.
Fine, sir.
Right.
It's fine, sir.
Right. Now, all of you, please follow along with me, go along with me. There is something called as data view and variable view. Click on variable view. Okay. The moment you click on variable view, there is something, an option called as name. First row and the column says name. Click on that. And in our Excel sheet, we have variables. What is the first variable?
Educational
Education qualification.
qualification.
Now this variable has to be typed there. I can directly copy and paste, but I'm copying here, and then I'll go back to SPSS and then click type OK. When I paste it, it says variable name contains an illegal character. Space is an illegal character for SPSS. I have given a space here. Can you see here in Excel sheet?
Yes, sir.
Education space qualification.
Yes, sir.
Education space qualification. इसको क्या करेंगे? Delete that space and put a dot. Put a dot between those two things, between two words. समझ में आया?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now
sir.
you copy. Now you copy and then go back to our variable view in SPSS and here you paste Control V. Accept हो गया? Education qualification आ गया ना?
Yes, sir.
Now you go back to data view and see the heading appears here, education qualification. पहले इसमें क्या था?
Variable. VAR.
Variable.
VAR था. अभी क्या आ गया?
Educational
Educational
qualification.
qualification.
Educational qualification.
So I have added a variable in my SPSS, that is educational qualification. इसी तरह क्या करना है मुझे?
Second
हर एक
variable.
वेरिएबल को ऐड करना है, बट इसमें खत्म नहीं हुआ, मुझे कुछ करना है. हम लोगों ने एक चीज देखा, we have learned something. You go towards your extreme right, इसमें एक ऑप्शन है measures. measure के ऊपर क्लिक करेंगे, there is something which pops up, scale, ordinal and nominal. educational qualification क्या है? Whether it is ordinal, nominal or scale.
Ordinal.
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 पक्का?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Nominal.
Yes, sir.
If it is ordinal, click on ordinal.
It's
Very
ordinal.
important. It is ordinal because we have an hierarchical order. समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Any doubt till now?
No doubt, sir.
I'm going very slow. I'm going very slow so that you can follow.
No, sir.
will
It's
it,
Okay.
perfect.
will it
Right.
make any difference if we click on scale instead of ordinal?
It does make a scale. It does make a difference because it will treat it as a scale. अगर मुझे कुछ analysis करना है, then it thinks that it is a scale. Okay, but output नहीं आएगा उस time अच्छे तरीके से.
Okay, sir. Okay.
When you know something, you do it perfectly. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, when I'm teaching you, don't make mistake. Right?
Okay, sir.
Right. Now, the next thing what you're going to do is you have something called as values here. Can you see values? Here,
Yes, sir.
name, type, width, decimal, label, values. अगर आप use कर रहे हैं SPSS, you can see it clearly. If not, zoom it out. येलो कलर में छोटा सा बॉक्स में मैंने वैल्यूज के नीचे क्लिक किया है, दिख रहा है?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We have to add values here. Click on values. ये छोटा सा जो बॉक्स दिख रहा है ब्लू कलर में, उसमें आप क्लिक करिए. It appears like this. Easy? I'll repeat again.
Yes, sir.
वैल्यूज के ऊपर जाइए, ये छोटा सा बॉक्स जो दिख रहा है उसके ऊपर क्लिक करिए. You will get this pop-up box. Okay? In this, what value are going to add? अगर आप शीट नंबर 2 पे जाएंगे, एक्सेल पे शीट नंबर 2 पे जाएंगे, what are the values I've given? Secondary education is equal to how much?
1.
So value 1 is equal to secondary
Secondary.
education. समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then click add here. Next, go back to 2 क्या है?
Certificate course.
2 डालिए, क्लिक करिए, सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स टाइप करिए, देन क्लिक ऐड. मैं क्या कर रहा हूं अभी? What I'm doing now?
Sir, adding
I am
values.
decoding it here. I am telling SPSS what I have coded. Next, diploma. 3 is equal to diploma. 4,
Bachelor degree.
very good. 5,
Masters.
Master degree.
very good. Then 6 is
PhD.
PhD.
ये सब ऐड करने के बाद क्लिक ओके. इजी? एनी डाउट?
No, sir.
No. sir.
Right. Now you can see my data view, education qualification data ready है. Education qualification variable is ready. What is the next variable what I have to enter?
Designation.
What I'm going to type here? Designation. आ गया. First thing what I'm going to do, we're going to measure ordinal or nominal scale.
So it's ordinal.
Ordinal, sir.
Again it's ordinal. Okay. Then उसके बाद में values ऐड करना है हमको. क्या होता है? First is what?
First is
Guest
lecturer.
faculty.
Yes,
First is
faculty.
guest faculty, which I've given. Okay. Second is lecturer.
Lecturer.
Very good. Third is
Assistant professor.
assistant professor. And this 4 is
Associate professor.
associate professor, and 5 is
Professor.
Professor.
professor. Add professor and click OK. समझ में आया? Now where this designation will appear, where the data view में जाइए and see designation is already there. समझ में आ रहा है? Easy है? Any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Now, अभी क्या हुआ? What I've done, I've added all these things. I'll do it bit fast. Now what I'll do, मैं सिंगल सिंगल आपको सिखाया, अब एक बार उसको ट्रांसफर कैसे करना है ये दिखाता हूं आपको. Now I will copy all the variables at the top at a stretch, Control C, and I'll try to paste. Paste ऐसे नहीं हो सकता है because it is in a row format, I want in a column format. इसलिए क्या करता हूं, I copied everything, I go to a sheet number 3 anywhere and right click करने के बाद what I do, I go for paste special and there is an option at the bottom called as transpose, click OK. क्या हो गया है? What happened here?
कॉलम में आ गया सर.
The row became column. कॉलम में आ गया है ना, इजी है ना. सो मैं क्या करता हूं, इसको कॉपी करता हूं पूरा, मेरा SPSS पे जाता हूं, I go to variable view, click at the bottom here and then Control V. One character, illegal character कोई भी है, शायद लोकेल में स्पेस दिया क्या मैंने?
I think MC total उसमें.
Yes.
I think MC total जो हमने किया है ना वहाँ पे स्पेस है सर.
नहीं, उसमें स्पेस था, लोकेल के पहले स्पेस था, इसलिए ऐसे हो रहा है.
ओके सर.
MC टोटल का दिक्कत नहीं है. इमीडिएट क्या है, डिस्ट्रिक्ट का नेक्स्ट क्या है, लोकेल में ही प्रॉब्लम था.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर, आप जो ये
Yes, ma'am.
कॉपी करके पेस्ट कर रहे हैं तो यू आर यूजिंग फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर रेस्पोंडेंट, राइट सर? Because you only copied the first column, first row, full row.
This is not respondent, madam. This is variable what I have copied. किसको कॉपी किया मैंने, मैं दिखाता हूँ आपको. ऊपर कॉपी किया ना मैंने.
जी
ऊपर क्या है मेरा, ये तो मेरा वेरिएबल्स है ना.
हाँ, लेकिन आपने ओके 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 ओके, यस यस यस, नीचे है वैल्यूज. यस सर.
नीचे इसका नीचे वैल्यूज है मैडम.
या सॉरी सर.
समझ में आया?
डन सर.
राइट. सो मैंने क्या किया, पहले चीज आई विल रिपीट अगेन. मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, मेक श्योर देयर इज नो स्पेस एनीवेयर. स्पेस नहीं देना चाहिए. स्पेस को SPSS मानता नहीं है, बोलता है मुझे समझ में नहीं आता स्पेस दिया तो, बिकॉज इट्स कोडिंग हैज बीन डन लाइक दैट. पहले सेलेक्ट करिए एडिंग टॉप सब का, Control C, फिर एक शीट पे जाइए, एक्स्ट्रा शीट पे कहीं भी क्लिक करिए, राइट क्लिक, there is an option for paste special. At last there is an option for transpose. Click करिए and then click OK. It gets converted here. Okay, the row becomes column. Then select everything and directly paste in SPSS. इतना समझ में आता है? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. District is ordinal, nominal, or scale. Yes, madam. क्या डाउट है?
सर बट हियर अगेन यू हैव टू, आई थिंक दैट मेजर स्केल जो है वो सबके लिए फिर सेपरेटली करना होगा आपको.
करेंगे ना मैडम, सेपरेटली करना ही पड़ेगा. देयर इज नो अदर ऑप्शन. Okay, that's why I'm doing it now. For district it is nominal.
Sir, what
For
about the
locale it is
decimal and
nominal.
width?
Which decimal, dear?
Sir, it's written just aside the type. Width is 8 and decimal is 2. What does it mean for us?
Decimal is how many decimals you want after each numbers. Okay, that's the thing. You can increase the decimal as number 1, 2, 3, something like that. I usually, by default it gives 2 decimals. Width is the size, that is not a problem, don't worry about all those things. Okay, and type here very simple. There are different things what we have. You read about these types. Integers can be added. For example, sometimes what I did, I have not done a coding, I have not given as 1 2 3 4 5 6. I wrote as mail for everything. Then that also with the help of string we can will be able to identify that in SPSS. by default it asks for numeric values. In case if you give string values, that also will be accepted in SPSS. Okay, so majorly we do all these things, and for questions we'll consider it as scale.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Sir, there is an option in variable that is level after decimals.
Okay.
What is this, sir?
Label. Label
Yes, sir.
in case if you have given us mail here, then that labeling will happen here. Since we have already done the coding, there is no need of labeling here. Don't worry.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, one more thing, sir, please again explain what is
Yes,
type. This
please.
is numeric and all. वो कुछ बोले आप? I didn't get that.
Now, listen here. When you are feeding the data here, the data view will be here. Okay. The data is here. The data it accepts in different formats. For example, what format I'm doing now is numerical format. I give numbers. I've converted everything into number. है ना? Why? Because if you see my data sheet here, even designation is in the form of number. है कि नहीं? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I've coded
Yes.
it, but there are different options which are appearing here. Numeric. If I put string, okay, it can be in the form of words or something like that, right? Date
Okay.
format you need. Sometimes you may need a date format, then I go for date formats. Okay. Scientific notations, if you have, that will accept as a scientific notation. So it is an option for you which type of formats you want to feed it. Variable type किस प्रकार का होगा, उसको ऐड करने के
Yes,
लिए
sir.
बोलते हैं.
How we are going to code it, accordingly we can use that.
Accordingly you select that particular thing.
Okay, thank you,
समझ में
sir.
आया?
Yes.
Right. So this is the thing. This variable view, only this many works you have to do. First thing, type the name of the variable, select measure type, and then values if you have, add values. Any doubt?
No, sir.
सर इसमें आपने वैल्यूज उसमें ऐड नहीं किया डिस्ट्रिक्ट में, तो उससे कुछ प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं होगा कैलकुलेशंस में?
अब मुझे ऐड करना पड़ेगा मैडम, ऐड करना ही पड़ेगा. ओके, इफ यू डोंट ऐड व्हाट विल हैपन, दैट आल्सो विल सी. मैं दो चीज में पर्पसफुली ऐड नहीं किया मैंने, ताकि आपको समझ में आ जाए मैं क्या होता है उसमें. गॉट इट? ऐड करने से क्या होता है, ऐड नहीं करने से क्या होता है, ये देखेंगे हम लोग. लेट मी चेक दैट. नाउ होप दिस variable view all of you understood. Any doubt?
नो सर.
हाँ या ना बोलना है ताकि मैं आगे जाऊं. समझ में आया?
नो
Sir, I have a question.
Yes,
Yes,
समझ आ गया.
please. Yes, please. Who is having a question?
You put the MC total in
Yes,
SPSS.
Himanshu. Where Himanshu? MC total. मैंने क्या किया
MC
है,
total.
वेरिएबल
It
में
is
अगर
necessary.
आप देखेंगे ना, लिसन यार, वेरिएबल में मैंने क्या किया, आई एडेड पर्पसफुली हियर मीनिंग ऑफ करिकुलम. 5 क्वेश्चन है उसमें, उसके बाद में मैंने उसका टोटल बनाया. आई क्रिएटेड अ न्यू वेरिएबल हियर, इस कंपोनेंट का टोटल स्कोर.
But sir, we have to do the same thing for the concept of curriculum also.
Yes, we have to do. I have not done it. You're right, dear. I did not do. I can do that also. Insert. Okay. C dot C. I can do this. I have to. I have not done it. Okay, we can do this. Right, dear? And goal of curriculum
Yes, sir.
again we'll do. And total exactly for all the total, again we are going to go for total. Since I was just explaining stage by stage, I did not do for everything. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Shall we go
Yes,
further?
sir. Yes, sir.
Now go back to data view. Data view जाने के बाद education qualification. Go to your Excel sheet. Excel sheet में either I have different things, so I'll just select one by one. So what I'll do, education qualification, full data I'm going to copy from here. This is already feeded data. That's why I'm taking directly. And it is not in sequence wise. Suniya, you have to select from starting till ending Control C and then go to data sheet and then click on column number 1, row number 1 and column education qualification. Control V. तो क्या होता है पूरा डेटा मेरा एंटर हो गया. That's related to education qualification. Similar way you do for next one. What is the next variable? Designation, na?
Yes, sir.
Designation. You copy the data. Since, let me see, designation, district and locale is there. I can collect all the three here. Designation, district and locale all together. I'm just copying it. Control C. Then Control V. सबका डेटा फीड हो गया इधर until locale. What's my sample size?
260.
260 बराबर है. Feed exactly हुआ है. Okay. I'll go back to the next one, next data. See here, like this, I collect the data, whatever the data is what you have. मैं बस ऐसे randomly कर रहा हूँ. Okay, select everything and feed the data.
सर पूरा एक साथ कॉपी क्यों नहीं किया?
अभी क्या क्यों नहीं किया? अब देखिए इधर सीक्वेंस वाइज नहीं है मेरा डेटा. That means the variable what I have here is total different. Name of the institution, designation, district, locale. इसमें मैं name of the designation, name of the institution serving नहीं है मेरे में. समझ में आ रहा है?
ओके.
So that अगर आप एक्सेल शीट में एक साथ कर सकते हैं तो that's well and good. If you have arranged it properly. Since I did not use a raw data exactly, मेरा क्लास के लिए था ना, तो I just taught you what are the things what you can do. तो इतना करेंगे तो then it will be easy for you. Easy है? Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Similar way you feed the data for other things. So this is how you enter the data into Excel and then transfer that into SPSS. Clear?
Sir, is decimal is necessary?
Let it be there. It by default it comes. It doesn't need hard and fast rule. You can remove or you can keep it.
Thank you, sir.
Got it? Now एक और चीज है. As soon as you feed the data, first thing what exactly you need to do is, now let's take an example. I'll do some this thing. I have to go for analyze. As soon as you feed your data, descriptive analysis. Go for frequencies. I will select only till locale because only those data I've added here. Okay. Click on statistics, minimum, medium, range, variance, standard deviation. Mean, median, mode चाहिए तो check कर सकते हैं आप. And some also you can check in case if it is required. Click OK. OK. जैसे आप क्लिक करेंगे ना, there will be one more window which appears, that is called as output box. Right? You can see here output. All these outputs will appear here.
Where is it, sir? Output box?
It will come automatically. It's like a separate one which comes, which pops up. Can you see here at the bottom? ये
Yes.
डेटा है, ये आउटपुट है. आउटपुट आपको ऐसे ही मिल जाएगा. Right? Now let's take an example. It says
लेकिन आपने तो सर डेटा का वैल्यू डाला ही नहीं, आपने तो सिर्फ फैक्टर्स के वैल्यूज डाले थे, जैसे हर एक बंदा का रेस्पॉन्सेस का तो आपने वैल्यूज में डाला ही नहीं, तो मीन मीडियन मोड खाली
मैं
फैक्टर्स
उसका
का।
चेक ही नहीं कर रहा हूँ ना. मैं उसका चेक ही नहीं कर रहा हूँ. आई एम चेकिंग ओनली डेमोग्राफिक्स. अब
ओके,
देखिए मैं क्या चेक कर रहा हूँ, एजुकेशन क्वालिफिकेशन डेसिग्नेशन. ठीक है, ये सब चेक कर रहा हूँ. गेटिंग एन आइडिया?
Yes, sir.
सो वही चेक करना है, बस वही चेक कर रहा हूँ मैं तो. टेस्टिंग वेरिएबल में आई गो क्लिक ऑन दिस थिंग्स. हाँ, इसका भी मैंने एक्सप्लेन नहीं किया ना आप लोगों को कि क्या होता है, कैसा होता है. आई विल शो यू दैट आल्सो. नाउ लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल. आफ्टर फीडिंग द डेटा, ये सब फीडिंग होने के बाद मुझे क्या करना है? आई हैव समथिंग कॉल्ड एज एनालाइज ऑप्शन हियर एट द टूल बार में. ऊपर देखेंगे तो एनालाइज मिलेगा आपको. इसमें क्लिक करके यू गो फॉर डिस्क्रिप्टिव स्टैटिस्टिक्स. उसका नीचे जो आएगा फ्रीक्वेंसी. ओके, राइट, एंड ऑप्शंस आएगा आपको स्टैटिस्टिक्स. नाउ एक देखिए इधर, इसमें देयर आर टू बॉक्सेस व्हिच अपीयर्स. इट अपीयर्स लाइक दिस व्हेन यू कम. When you click on analysis and frequency, it appears like this. These are all the variables which have been listed, and these are all, this box is called testing variable box. आपको जो वेरिएबल टेस्टिंग पे डालना है उसको सेलेक्ट करना है और फिर इधर डालना है. मूव करेंगे तो अपने आप मूव होता रहेगा. समझ में आ रहा है? इसमें सेलेक्ट करना है, येलो हो जाता है, देन यू ट्रांसफर दिस हियर. इंटरेस्टिंग, इजी.
Yes, sir.
एंड आपको जो स्टैटिस्टिक्स चाहिए आप उसको सेलेक्ट कर सकते हैं. एंड क्लिक ओके, यू विल गेट ऑल दिस थिंग्स.
सर इसको एक बार इंटरप्रेट भी कर दीजिए रिजल्ट को.
रिजल्ट में हम लोगों को क्या मिलता है? इधर इसका मीन वैल्यू पता चलता है, मीडियन पता चलता है, इसका मोड वैल्यू कितना पता चलता है, स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन ऑटोमेटिकली देता है, वेरिएंस, और व्हाट इज द वेरिएंस दैट यू आर गोइंग टू सी, व्हाट इज द रेंज बिटवीन दिस थिंग्स, मिनिमम कितना है, मैक्सिमम कितना है, ये सब आपको पता चलता है. और इसमें ये भी पता चलता है कि देयर आर सम वैल्यूज व्हिच आर मिसिंग. ठीक है, हमको वो वैल्यूज आइडेंटिफाई करना है मिसिंग में. इट इज हियर, देयर आर सम वैल्यूज पर्पसफुली मैंने डिलीट किया था, सो दिस वैल्यूज यू ऐड इट हियर. ओके, ये इंटरप्रिटेशन आपको इजीली समझ में आ जाता है, देन इट विल बी इजी फॉर यू.
सर प्लीज एक बार स्क्रॉल अप करिए सर.
राइट.
सर इसमें से कौन सा टेबल देखना है ये कैसे पता चलेगा? एक पर्टिकुलर इसका दो दो टेबल दिया हुआ रहता है.
इसमें क्या होता है पता है? दिस इज ओवरऑल. अगर आप देखेंगे, देखिए इधर ऊपर एजुकेशन क्वालिफिकेशन है, डेसिग्नेशन है, डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, लोकल है. इसका नीचे अगर देखेंगे ना तो ये सेपरेटली दिया है बस आपको. समझ में आ रहा है? मिसिंग 154, 414, ये क्यों हो रहा है पता है? दैट मीन्स आई हैव सेलेक्टेड एन एम्प्टी स्पेस एट द बॉटम. एक्चुअली हमारा 220 डेटा होना चाहिए, है ना? इधर देखिए मेरा डेटा ही नहीं है इसमें, मैंने 2 बार पेस्ट कर दिया 260 के बाद. ये फ्रीक्वेंसी कैलकुलेट करने के बाद हम लोगों को पता चलता है कि मैं कुछ गलत किया हूं. समझ में आया मैंने क्या किया था? मैं नीचे से पेस्ट कर दिया बगल वाले रिस्पॉन्स को। अभी चेक करेंगे, आपको पता चल जाएगा। आप देख सकते हैं इधर, व्हाट इज द वैलिड नंबर ऑफ n इज नंबर ऑफ सैंपल। वैलिड कितना है? एजुकेशन क्वालिफिकेशन में 260 है, डेसिग्नेशन में कितना है?
259
259 दिखा दे रहा है आपको। कितना होना चाहिए?
260।
तो एक को क्या हो गया?
मिसिंग है सर।
कहाँ मिसिंग है उसको ढूंढेंगे। वापस जाइए डेटा शीट पे, सी वेयर एग्जैक्टली इट इज मिसिंग। किसमें मिसिंग था? किसमें मिसिंग था? डेसिग्नेशन में।
डेजिग्नेशन
कहाँ मिसिंग है? अगर आप देखेंगे ना
14
तो समवेयर हियर इट इज मिसिंग। तो
14
कहाँ से मिलेगा ये डेसिग्नेशन का नंबर मुझे? वेयर विल आई गेट दिस डेसिग्नेशन 14?
From the file number, sir. 14
Very
file number.
good. Very good. You remember why I told you to put the file number now? It's called file number. अगर इधर मिसिंग हो गया, by chance human error हो सकता है. We are human beings, we do errors. So you go back to 14, identify what is the designation, do the coding here. Clear? In the similar
Yes,
way,
sir.
there is one thing missing in district. District में इधर कहीं missing है, देखिए इधर इधर.
11
Go back to file number 11 and then identify that. I'm just doing it randomly. समझ में आया why we have to go for descriptive analysis here? Frequencies. So first thing what you have to do is you have to identify the missing numbers here. How many, whether it is missing or not. Again, I'll repeat the statistics. Go back to descriptive analysis, frequencies and click OK. फिर एक बॉक्स आएगा आपको। अभी मिसिंग है क्या? What is the valid number?
260.
260 all.
So everything is correct. My data is fitted perfectly. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is the first thing what you have to identify and see whether my data is perfect or not. That's possible with the help of frequencies. Calculate frequencies and see valid and missing. Okay?
Sir, इसको
If
एक बार
everything is
interpret कर दो
260, then it's ending. Analyze, descriptive statistics, frequency. आपको जो वेरिएबल चाहिए सब वेरिएबल्स को डाल सकते हैं इनिशियली. I would suggest all of you to put all the variables here and then select all these analysis what I have selected. Standard deviation, variance, range, minimum, maximum, mean, median, mode सब select करिए, click OK and then click OK. तो आपको ऐसे वाला टेबल्स आएगा. लंबा टेबल भी आ सकता है in case if the variables is more. इसमें क्या करना है? पहले चीज you identify the valid and missing numbers. Clear?
सर मिसिंग जो है वो ऑटोमेटिकली आएगा, हमें सेलेक्ट करने की जरूरत नहीं है, मतलब
नहीं आ जाएगा वो, अगर मिसिंग है तो ऑटोमेटिकली आ जाएगा.
ओके
सर एक बार
Okay?
फिर से प्रेजेंटेशन दिखाइए सर।
कौन सा
अभी
प्रेजेंटेशन चाहिए
लास्ट वाला
आपको?
जो लास्ट वाला टेबल आपने अभी कैलकुलेट किया,
एनालाइज
या वो जो स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन जिस
Descriptive.
टेबल में निकाले हैं वो टेबल एक बार सर प्लीज प्रेजेंट करिए।
ये वाला टेबल आपको चाहिए क्या?
जो कैलकुलेट करके निकला सर।
यही तो है ना, वही दिखा रहा हूं मैं आपको ऊपर, यही है ना?
यस सर, इसमें स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन जो दिया वो उसको एक बार इंटरप्रेट करिए ना सर, उसको कैसे हम एनालिसिस रिजल्ट में कैसे उसको इंटरप्रेट करेंगे, स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन एंड वेरिएंस।
राइट नाउ दिस स्टैटिस्टिक्स, मैंने जो डेमोग्राफिक वेरिएबल को जो स्टैटिस्टिक्स लिया है, ठीक है, इसमें ना देयर इज नथिंग मेजर टू बी इंटरप्रेटेड. मैं अभी डेटा फीडिंग के बारे में बस बता रहा हूं. आई एम नॉट गॉन फॉर एनालिसिस. अब देखिए मैंने क्या किया, जैसे इधर मेरा presentation में, if you observe here, I've come to this descriptive statistics and then I stopped here. इसके बाद में in my next presentations I'll be teaching you about descriptive and inferential statistics क्या क्या होता है. There I'll teach you why each statistics is required. Okay? Right?
Oops, sir.
Because
Okay, sir.
we have to explain everything. So as per my knowledge, today's class was only related to variables and data feeding. Any doubt related to this until here? Interpretation.
Sir, just I have a question. Sir, when we do any
Yes, please.
research, we analyze for the data, not for the demographic. I mean, we will feed all the data. Then how to interpret that? Are you going to teach that? I mean, where to use t-test? Or I have also a question. This is all same for
100%.
t-test.
100%. Listen here. Demographic variables will be used to calculate t-test. है ना? For example, to see whether there is any significant difference between two different groups with the major variable. I have not added major variable at all here. I have only taught you few variables and major variable के बारे में I have taught you only that I have not even added the data here. दिख रहा है ना आपको? इस data मैंने add ही नहीं किया है. Okay?
Yes, sir. That is why I got some
हाँ,
confusion.
see here, I'm going stage by stage, stage by stage. What I'm doing here is you how to enter the data today. Okay, how to enter the data, how to convert the data from your data sheet to Excel sheet, from Excel sheet to SPSS. इतना मैंने बस समझाया आपको. Hope it's
Sir,
clear.
one more last question, sir, please.
Yes, yes, madam.
Sir, if how we first by looking the data, how will we know that I am going to use chi-square test or t-square, t-test? And
ये क्या
second,
होता है पता है?
sir, ये
आप
जो आपने
ऑब्जेक्टिव्स
प्रोसेस
और
यूज
हाइपोथेसिस
किया, सर,
बोलिए.
ये जो आपने प्रोसेस यूज किया, सर, ये टी-टेस्ट के लिए था, सेम रहता है, और chi-square के लिए, या फिर दोनों के लिए भी अलग रहता, या एनोवा जो
मैडम
भी
ये
हम लोग यूज.
पूरा आपको कोई भी स्टैटिस्टिक्स यूज करिए, ये इनिशियल स्टेज का प्रोसीजर सबका सेम है. जब तक डेटा आप फीड करते हैं तब तक सेम है. उसके बाद में आपका एनालिसिस दूसरा दूसरा होता है. ठीक है?
तो बाय लुकिंग द
आपको
डेटा हाउ विल यू नो टी-टेस्ट करना है कि chi-square करना है, सर?
वो क्या होता है पता है? वी विल बी एबल टू फीड वो क्वेश्चनर के हिसाब Then you tell मुझे साइन टेस्ट यूज करना है या ट्री टेस्ट यूज करना है, मुझे मैनविटी टेस्ट करना है, तो सब होगा तो क्या करते हैं, then you go for this normal operating count. Right. Any other doubt?
सर SPSS से एक्सेल शीट में कैसे लेंगे अपने टेबल्स?
आप इधर एक्सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं आउटपुट.
सर एक बार ही बता देंगे प्लीज.
Right.